Fish are friends, not food. Okay, so if you're hearing some background noise and whatnot, just bear in mind we're recording in an industrial building. That's where we're situated. We're not adding these in post, or are we? Okay, so if you haven't seen the website, we are offering the K this time around in 60, 65. But we are already working on other layouts, and those will come in the future when we don't know yet. But rest assured they're in the works. So if you like the whole style and you like what we're doing here, but the layout's not quite for you, don't worry, we'll have a lot more other layouts coming soon. This is the Noren Blue. We know that a lot of you have been asking what it is. This blue was first released in 2020, I want to say. First round ever of K, where we also did aluminum top and bottom pieces. And this is how it looks like. Looks great. And we're probably going to match this as close as we can. And another color that you're all probably familiar with by now is this amazing looking purple. You've seen it on the Jaguar, but we're just calling it jungle purple this time around, because why not? And the other colors are colors you're familiar with from MONOKEI, including the E-white that we're bringing back. Okay, the K is designed to handle about 4.5 kgs of force, and we just feel that we cannot guarantee that a super dense and heavy bottom would be able to hold itself together. For now, we are refraining from adding all these materials, but we're still testing, and we may offer it again in the future. Okay, the extra parts from top to bottom are all going to be shipped in a box, so they're not going to come with a Kaban. But if you want to buy a Kaban, you can buy them separately. These are special edition Kabans just made for the K. But they do not come in Kaban if you buy just the top or just the bottom on its own. Okay, so the K is a kit that comes without switches, stabilizers, and keycaps, and a USB-C cable. So those are the only parts you need to have on your own. Find them on your own and you'll be able to build the kit. Okay, so the top and bottom cases, parts will all be packed in a box to be shipped separately as an add-on. The EC kit comes with your plate and PCB, and we're also including this a very special piece of housing. If you're familiar with your EC builds, you've seen this before, and this is to accommodate for the space bar, which uses a 7U MX stabilizer setup, including the wire, and so they have a special cutout just for that. So that's what we're including the plate and PCB for the EC kit. As always, we will always have a little bit of extras, and this depends from vendor to vendor. So we would encourage you to buy it during the pre-order period because some configurations may not have extras kits. We don't know that yet, but as always, we usually keep a little bit of extras around. Okay, a lot of the keycap sets you see in our renders, they're still basically work in progress. We're looking into selling them in the future. You don't have to buy an additional Bluetooth daughter bag for all the bottom parts that you purchase. It's great to have if you don't want to swap the electronics around, but if you just want to have one set, that's fine as well. You can swap them around as they are assembled using just 4 screws. Okay, the KV2 is designed to be a gasket mounted keyboard, and that's pretty much how we encourage you to build it. And so the backplate, as you can see, will be secured by screws, and so what happens is that you can screw it on and then cover it with the feet. So this is how it looks like, and you don't see a gap. It's actually a very nice seam, and this is complementary to your entire K build. You can choose to get one, you can choose not to. It does not affect the build itself. Okay, yep, so if you can see from here, there is a small addition. It's about 2.5 mm before we add on the feet. So that will be the height difference between a build with and without the backplate. Okay, you can build the KV2 without the Xenon sheet and without the plate dampener. It's designed to be built on its own. We're including it just because some people like to have configurations that have these dampeners in place. So via remapping still works. Whether it works in Bluetooth or not, we're still in intensive testing for that. But rest assured that when you plug in your cable, you can remap using via. KV2 does not support the plateless build. Okay, so the EC build, we know it's a little bit more complex than usual MX build. We're going to have a video on that, and we actually have 2 other people who will be building the EC and will be reviewing it separately. But just for context, if you want to have an EC build which looks somewhat like this, and again, this is not the final color, it will be coming in purple. What you just need would be to harvest OEM EC parts, just like this one, the 2U, all all the modifiers uses the OEM parts, except for the spacebar, which will use this special housing, which we will provide this thing. But for domes, you can also choose to buy aftermarket domes. You can choose to buy aftermarket sliders and housings and what have you not. Or you can choose to go a little bit more OG and say, you know what, I want to get the true EC experience and get all these parts harvested. The choice is yours. So these things are not included. You have to get them on your own, and then you can put them together to build your EC Kei. Okay, the Kei does fit desk keys housing. We've tested with desk keys housing. We do not actually have NIS housings in place yet. We're in the midst of getting some of them, and we're also in the midst of contacting KLC to get some of their parts to test. But if they follow OEM EC specs, they should fit. But just to be safe, we will be testing them on our own for our own personal reference as well. The Kei V2 is designed for about 4.5 kgs of force. That's an incredible amount of force. Unless you're deliberately trying to separate the two, we do not foresee it changing or shifting in daily usage. Okay, so the way the circuit is being designed, we need the battery in to complete the circuit so that we can complete the connection, and so we do not advise you using it without the battery. So the battery should be installed at all times. You can choose to use it as wired or wireless, so if you prefer to not use it on Bluetooth, you can plug in your USB-C cable and it will function as advertised. So the battery is charged using the USB-C connection on the keyboard. So the Kei supports connection to one device via Bluetooth. For the Kei, it comes with the Bluetooth module installed already, so that is not something that we offer separately, and it comes on the chip itself. So the magnets are secured via adhesive. These are commonly used adhesive in consumer electronics, and we're using the same ones that you see in many popular electronics. Okay, so we hear your queries on the strength of the magnet. So these are neodymium. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but you guys get the idea. So these magnets are rated to lose 5% of magnetism every 100 years. So it's highly likely that the magnets in the Kei will outlive me. And so we do not foresee a problem with replacing them. We actually advise against, because magnets are not something that we want people to handle. But rest assured that these magnets are rated to last an extremely long amount of time. So the Kei PCBs are not compatible with the previous V1 versions of the Kei. Okay, so the underside of the bottom case will be E-coated anodized depending on which aluminum part you choose. So if you're choosing just the normal anodized parts, and this applies for all the other colors like blush pink and so on and so forth, this is how the bottom looks like. So it comes with the MONOKEI logo engraved, and everything else is as clean as you go. And so this is how the bottom case looks like. Every round of the Kei previously, we have been unable to hit MOQ. So unfortunately, there are just not enough people who like a 60 killers on the Kei design. We already have reviewers lined up, so a bunch of reviewers are going to get them and they're going to talk about them in different builds and different parts. So feel free to talk to them and ask them how they feel about it. We will let everyone know when that's happening as soon as we get a little bit more information on that. Okay, for hot swap PCBs, we're limited by just the number of components on it and our PCB design so far. It's something we're taking into account in the future as we get better at this. We do encourage you to support your local vendors. They really help your community to grow, and so as much as possible, do buy from them. They help you handle a lot of things from import fees to customs and all the other cool stuff. The vendors are offering limited options for the Kei V2 kits because for some of them, this is the first time we're working with them. For some of them, it's been a while since they've done such a large buy. For us, this is the first time we have close to 10 vendors, which is a lot more than we're used to. We just want to say that we're extremely surprised at how much interest this keyboard has garnered for YouTube, especially. We really didn't expect that much interest, and so it's taken us a while to put this all together. But feel free to keep asking questions, and we'll try our best to answer what we have. We're also really excited to bring to you guys a bunch of other reviews and a bunch of other typing tests. So if there are different things you want us to try out, for example, typing test without any of the dampeners or what have you not, we'll do our best to try to get it out to you. Please remember, as always, sound tests are subjective, but for anyone who wants a first-hand view, ask someone who came to our event, our friend's event last month. Many of those people have tried it and they love it, and so we think that this is one of the nicest sounding keyboards for us. But please ask us questions and we'll try our best to get back to you as soon as we can. Oh, we also really want to thank all our vendors. They've been really tip-top, amazing people. They've been really on the ball. We want to thank all you people who actually clicked on this thing, watched it, also interacted with us. We really thank you for your interest, and we hope this is something that you would love. And if you have any suggestions for improvements, feel free to send it our way. We may not be able to act on it, but we'll do our best to incorporate it in our subsequent designs and our subsequent runs. If you really have a lot of thoughts about this, feel free to drop us an email. And we may not be able to respond to all these suggestions, but rest assured we're taking it into account. Thanks.